In this video, we're going to go over how to create a customer product portal. And what I mean by that is you're going to have a system where you can put your sales page on a particular site just as a page. Your customers can buy from there, and then they're going to go to a download area to download it. Now, that doesn't sound any different than anything else. However, anytime you have a new product to sell, you can just add it to the same site, just create a new page and put the sales page on there. And then when they buy that, they'll go to the same download area and they'll see all the items in there that they have purchased so that they can go in and download them at any time. So it's one central spot where they can go in and see everything they've purchased from you while using the system and be able to download them from there. They'll also be able to see anything that they haven't purchased. So this is a good marketing opportunity for you. If you put other products within this system, they can look in there and see, oh, I didn't purchase this. I wonder what it is. They can click on the link and go and look at the sales page that you set up, and then they may purchase that as well. So it actually drives sales. The good thing about this is that the whole thing is protected download pages, protected links, and only the person that bought it can get at those. So it's a complete all-in-one system. Now, as you see in front of you now, we have WordPress. So the first thing to do is install WordPress, and we're going to go over that now. So if you already know how to install WordPress, you can go to video 2. Now, before I go through installing WordPress, I just wanted to mention that if you already have a blog set up that's using WordPress, you can just use that blog. You don't need to go and set up a whole new WordPress to do this. So if you already have a WordPress blog, I would suggest that you just pick it up at video 2 and use that install of WordPress instead of making a whole new one. So to install WordPress, just go to wordpress.org and then click down here where it says download WordPress, and you'll come to the next page, and then we'll download it here. We're downloading in zip format, so let's just download that. And while that's downloading, we are going to go over and we're going to set up a database because we need a database for WordPress since it's all database driven. So go down to the section in your control panel and find where it says MySQL Database Wizard. And we'll go in and we'll use that to set up a database. If you're not using cPanel hosting, then whatever type of hosting you're using will have a way that you can create a database. So use that to create it. Okay, so the first thing you do is give it a database name. So I'm calling it CPP for Customer Product Portal. Let's go next. And I'm just going to call it the same thing here, but you can call it whatever you want. And then we need to create a password. So I'll use the password generator. We'll copy this. Tell it we've copied it. And then we'll use the password. And we'll create the user. Now we need to click all privileges on the next screen. And then go to the next step. And we're done. So what we want to do is copy all of this into a notepad session. Okay, so there's my password. And then back to this screen, we can just copy this line. And that'll be all the credentials that we need. Okay, so now what we need to do is upload our WordPress file. So first we need to unzip it. So you can just use extract all that's built into Windows or whatever third-party program you like to use. I like to use 7-zip, which is free, so I'll just extract. If you want to use 7-zip, you can just download it. Okay, so now what we need to do is open an FTP program. I like to use FileZilla. So what we have here on the left side is our computer, and I'm going to be uploading the stuff in the WordPress directory here. And then on the right side, this will be our server when we connect. So connect to the server. all you have to do is put your host in here, which is your domain name, then the username and password for your hosting account, or you can add it all into the site manager, and then you can go in there and pick out your domain. So I'm going to connect up here. And then I'm going to create a directory on this side. So I'm going to put it in my domain name / and a directory. So create a directory and enter, and I'm going to call it my products or my sales. I'll call it something. I'm going to call it my product portal. Okay, so what we do now is we go into this WordPress here and right into there until you see this. We select it all, and then we right click on that and we upload. Okay, so we'll just wait for that to finish. Okay, so everything has now been uploaded. So what we're going to do is type in the URL to where we just uploaded all of that. Then we come to the first screen, which is we pick our language, so we'll continue. And this is for the database stuff from that we have in our notepad. So this is our password, so let's put that in first. Okay, and then we'll grab these pieces out of here. So our username and database name are the same, so I'm just going to grab it once there, and we'll put it here and here. The next thing is our database host. Most of the time it's localhost, but not always, and it's easy to find that out. Back in your control panel in your database sections, you should see something called phpMyAdmin. So go in there. And once you're in here, if you look right at the top, you'll see server, and it says localhost. So I know that's what mine is. So that's okay. And then the next thing is the table prefix. I'm just going to change this to CC. And this is just what goes in front of the tables on your database so that you can create multiple databases or multiple instances of WordPress in a single database if your server doesn't allow for multiple databases. Okay, so let's click Submit. Then run the install. Okay, and then this comes up where we just put in our site title, a username and password to log in with, and an email address. And then allow search engines to index this site. So just fill all that in. I'm just going to call this My Great Products or something. Yeah, sure, why not? And the username. And let's password. Okay, so I used a weak password. I don't really mind since this is just an example, but make sure you get a reasonably strong password there. And then email address, and then install WordPress. Okay, so let's log in. And there we are, WordPress is installed. Now keep in mind, if you already have a blog, you can just do it on your own blog if it's a WordPress blog. You don't have to go through this step at all. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to go through the plugin we need to set up. Now it's time to install the plugin we need. I'm not going to go through installing a whole bunch of plugins. You can install whatever plugins you like to use during your own WordPress installs. The only one we really need to make this work is the S2 member plugin. So let's go to plugins and add new. And then we want to go over to search here and just type in S2 member. And we want the S2 member framework. So we're going to install that. And activate. Okay, so now what we need to do is just go down where it says S2 member here, and then we want to go to general options. Actually, before we even do that, there's a couple of pages that we need to set up before we even get to this point. So let's go over to pages and then add new. And then we want the members welcome page. This is where they're actually going to end up when they log in. I'm going to say welcome. Your downloads are below, or however you want to word this. Basically, when they log in, they will see all of their downloads in here. Okay, so we're going to publish. And then we want to add another page. And this one, we just want to call the member option page, even though we're not going to use it. It requires one. So we'll publish that one. Now, let's go take a quick tour down to settings here, and we'll go into discussion. And then I'm going to turn all this off. But you can set these in any way you like, and if you already have a blog, then you likely have already dealt with this. So we're going to save that. And we also want to set up our permalinks. And we'll just pick post name here. And then since I have a new WordPress install, I need a home page. If you're already using a existing blog or something, or a site that you have WordPress on, then you probably already have that. So I'm just going to say welcome to my site. I'm going to publish that. And then we're going to go down to settings and reading. And then we're going to set a static page for our welcome to my site. Now we're going to go down to S2 member and general options. And we need to go into plugin deletion safeguards and just make sure this is set at yes. Security encryption key, we want to create one here. So let's click auto generate. Okay, next, localhost. We don't need to worry about this bit. Don't need to worry about that. Don't worry about the security badge. Email configuration. Okay, so this is just using your existing email account that you have in here. So if you want to change that, you can. This is just getting it right from WordPress. And then if you want to use advanced mail setting, you can come down here and change it. Open registration we do want, because this is how it's all going to work. They're going to be registering into our site. It doesn't cost them anything. They just register so that they can log in and get the products. Okay, we don't need to worry about the labels, but they're already in here. So we have free subscriber, bronze, silver, and gold. and Platinum. We could change the name of the free subscriber if we want, because this is what they're all going to be in when they sign in. So we could call this your products or something. You decide what you want to name it. Okay, this is where you can set up your registration design for your login page. If you want to put in an image or change it around, this is where you can do that. I'm not going to worry about that. Now, our login welcome page, we have to pick out of here our page. So welcome, your downloads are below. Member options page, we don't really use this, but it requires one. So click there. And then we can save all changes. Okay, next we'll go to restriction options. And actually for our uses, we don't even need to do anything in here. Our download options, we don't really need to do anything in here either, because we're just going to use all the standards. So the next thing we need to do is set up our PayPal options. This part is pretty straightforward. Go into your PayPal account details, and in here you want your PayPal merchant ID, which you get when you sign into your PayPal account. You'll see it. Your PayPal email address, your PayPal API username, API password, and API signature. Now, there's an option here for developer testing using a sandbox, and that's what I'm going to use for this to show you and to test it out. It's always a good idea to test out and make sure that things are working before you go live. So this is your chance to do it, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm going to go get this information from my PayPal sandbox account. Okay, so I'm over here in the API credentials of the PayPal sandbox. So this is my API stuff, and this is my profile. So this is my email. So I'll copy that, and we'll put that in here. Okay, and then basically just copy everything else in there. So we'll go over to API credentials. This is our username. And our password. And then our API signature. In here. And then all I need is my merchant ID. It doesn't actually seem to show it in this part. So what I'm going to do is sign into the PayPal developer sandbox using this account. So we go to sandbox.paypal.com, and then we click login. And then we log in here. Now we'll go over to our profile. And you'll see if we go way down to merchant ID, we can just grab this and we can paste it over here. Okay, so we got all this. Now you should enable button encryption and logging. I'm not going to do that, but if you want to troubleshoot, you can enable logging here and it'll put it out into a file. Next, you need PayPal IPN integration. So what we want to do is go back again to our PayPal account here. And then we're going to go to Selling Tools. And then down here, we'll see Instant Payment Notification. So you need to go in here. And then you need to make sure it's turned on, first of all. If it's turned off, then you'll be able to turn it on, and you can put in a URL in here. In this case, if it's empty, you can put this one in. But if there's already something in it, you can leave it alone. Because it has to have a URL in it, they give you one here. I already have it turned on this test account, and there's already something in it, so I don't need to worry about it. So that's already done for me. And then we need payment PDT, auto return integration. So that's payment data transfer. So let's go back to the profile here. Then we need to go down here to website preferences. And click update. Okay, so you need to make sure auto return is on. And then the return URL. If there's already something in here, you can just leave it. And then down here, we need to put payment data transfer needs to be on. And this is our identity token here. So let's grab this identity token. Now, since I already had this set up, I don't have to change anything. I just need to bring this identity token into here. As long as it's set up. If it's not set up, of course, then you need to put the other credentials in there. Okay, and then we have the confirmation email. You can change that if you want or leave it alone. I'm just going to leave it. Post-page confirmation email, same type of thing. And automatic EOT. We don't even need to worry about this either. Okay, so let's go to the bottom and save all changes. Okay, so we now have this plugin set up. In the next video, what I'm going to do is we're going to go over setting up a product and the payment page behind it and show you how it all works. Okay, the next thing we need to do is set up our sales page. So you can have as many sales pages as you want on this particular site. And again, if you're using your own blog, all you do is add a page or a post, depending on how you want to do it. If you're using a blog, you may just want to use post and put a sales page in there as a regular post. It can also just be a regular post as your sales page with the payment link on it. However you want to do it, you got a lot of flexibility here. Since this is a new site and I really don't have anything on it, I'm going to create a new page and I'm going to create a sales page. So add new. And this is going to be a very poor sales page with not much on it, but I want you to get the idea. So what you really should have is a real sales page idea and the text all down and everything else that you want. And you may want to do it in a web editor and then paste the HTML in here. Is probably the best way to do it. Let me turn on the kitchen sink here. Okay, so let's give it a title here and we'll call it the best widget ever. Okay, so your title and then all your sales copy for the best widget ever. Okay, and then what we want to do is go and make a payment button. So I'm going to just save this as a draft. Actually, no, I'll need to publish it. Now what we're going to do is go create a PayPal button. So go down to S2 member and we'll go up to PayPal buttons. And you'll see that we have all kinds of different buttons. But what we're going to be using is a capability buy now button. Capabilities allow you to sell a product by a capability. And a capability is just really a tag that is added to an individual's account. That way we can keep track of what each individual has access to, and we can also direct them to certain pages. Okay, so say we're going to charge $9.97 for the best widget ever. Okay, it's going to be a one-time purchase. Now, next you have your PayPal style. In your PayPal account, let's go, may have signed me out, but let's go back to profile here. So let's go to my selling tools. And then you can set up different types of custom payment pages. And this is where that comes in. The default is just PayPal, as you see here. And that's what we're seeing in here. So if you create a different style, you can put that in. And you can create your different style here. You can, for instance, put a banner on the top and change the colors and so on. There's quite a bit you can do with them if you feel like doing that. I just wanted to show you what that was so you know. Then we put our description here. So we will say the best widget ever. And here we need to put the custom capability or capabilities that are attached to this. And we're just going to use one capability for each different product we use. So I'm going to say best widget ever. And that's really all there is to it. So now we generate the button code. Click OK here. And this is our payment button. So now we go back to our sales page, which I created as a page. So go all pages, the best widget ever, and go in here and edit that. And all you're going to do is paste that short code right into the editor here, and it will bring up the button for you when the page loads. Now, you'll see down here, it says image default. So that's going to give you the default PayPal image. If you want to change that image, what you can do is upload it to your media library here, and then get the URL for that, and just put the URL in where it says default there, and that will change your button. Okay, so that's really all we need to do at this point for our sales page. So we'll click on that. And now we can view the page. And like I said before, you can either create it as a page or a post. And then let's give it a test here. So you click on the PayPal button or whatever you replaced it with here. And it should take us off to PayPal Sandbox. Okay, here it is, the best widget ever, $9.97. Okay, and then we would go through with another PayPal Sandbox test account, but we're not ready to do that yet. Now there's more to do on this front end as far as a button's concerned, but we can't do that until we set up the back end. So in the next video, we're going to go and set up the back end or the download area. Okay, to set up our back end, which we're going to do next, you need to use something called custom capabilities that are available within S2 Member. Now, I'm just going to show you this. I don't want you to worry too much about it because I'm actually just going to give you the code that you need to use out of this whole thing. But in here, you'll see something called API scripting. So if you click on that, it brings you here, and there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can use different kinds of codes to get some things done within here. So what we want to do is go into simple short code conditionals. Now, I'm just going to roll down near the bottom here. And what we're looking for is the CCAP. You'll see this first line here, S2 if current user can access S2 member CCAP, which is custom capability, and then the name of the custom capability. That is what we need. So we're going to be creating a custom capability button, so the PayPal button, for each product. And then we're going to use this so that they can access that button. And this will become clear in a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. And I'm just going to copy it into a notepad session. For later use. Okay, now we also need a line from in here to if current user is S2 member level 0. Okay, level 0 means that they've signed up for our site here for free. So let's add that into our notepad as well. And you could also use the one below it, which says if user can access S2 member level 0. If you're already using S2 member and you have different levels, you can use this one as well. But just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to leave it there. Okay, so we have the two different conditionals that we need. So first of all, let's go to our page that we created for the welcome page, which says your downloads are below. So let's go in and edit this guy. And you'll see here that this is your login welcome page, automatically guarded by S2 member. So we can go ahead and we can put whatever you want here. So put some sort of notation here. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to create an area where they can see their downloads and they can also see what products they haven't downloaded. And then they'll be able to click on it if they want to actually purchase it. So every time you create a product, you're going to have to come in here and put this code in here. And it's very simple. I'm going to give you the exact code that you need to put in here. All you'll have to do is change the link a little bit. Okay, now remember the code that I just had us copy in here earlier. You'll see here that I replaced free gift with best widget ever because that's what we named the custom capability and that's what we created the payment button with. Okay, so what we need to do is just copy this. And then we want to go back to our page here. And this is where we're going to, let's just paste this in here right now. Well, I didn't put my note in, but I'll leave space for whatever note I want to put there. And then we're going to copy this and we're going to put it again right underneath. And then we're going to, instead of where it says can access, we're going to say cannot. Okay, so in one case, if they have already paid for, and in this case, best widget ever, then it's going to do whatever I put in here. And if they can't access it because they didn't pay for it, it's going to execute what I put in here. So what I want to do is put the download links where they can download the file here if they paid for it, and then I want to put the URL to where they can look at the details in here. Okay, so, and then of course above this, I want to put the product name. So I'll call it product 1. And we can bold this. Let me put my note up here. Okay, so you'll see I have hi, and then I have a constant there. And what that is it is a short code that'll bring in the first name from their profile in S2 member. All you got to do is put that string in there, and it will bring it in. And then I have all of our products. All of our product downloads are below, as well as any products you have not purchased in case you would like to check them out. So this is a way to try and get people to buy some of your other products once they've already purchased something. Okay, so the first one is our best widget ever. I did pull that. Okay, and then what we put in here is the download link. So to do that, what you need to do is upload the file where you have this blog. And let me show you exactly where you put it. Okay, so this is where we created our blog. So you go into WP Content, Plugins, and then S2 member files. So that's all you need to do is upload the file into this directory, and it's automatically protected from the world except for people that have access to it. Okay, so here's the file for that. So I'm going to upload that. And there it is. So this is all you need to do for each of your products. Just upload the zip file into here. Okay, so creating the download link is very easy. There's actually a short code you can use. You don't have to know any URLs or anything. I'll show you where it is, but I'm going to put it in your notes so you can just copy it right in. And what you want are the advanced download restrictions. And then if you roll down here, you'll see this one here. It says S2 file download equals the example.zip. Okay, so this is the zip file that you just uploaded. Download key equals this. So that's the whole URL. So grab that. And copy. Okay, now we need to go over here. And then we're going to put in a link. So if you go up here where it says link, all you got to do is copy or paste that in there. And then the link text, download here. And that's it. Add link. Now make sure that you actually change the link so that it has the proper file name in it. You see here that I have deload.zip because I changed it behind the scenes there because I forgot to do that. But this is what you need to change here is the name of the file that they're downloading. Okay, so and then the next thing you want to do is in here put a URL to our sales page. So let's go to pages, all pages. And open link in a new window. And then the best widget ever. So we'll copy this link. Close this. And then we want to put a link in here. So link, paste. With this one, you want to open in a new window, and then we can say, check it out here. And add a link. Okay, so what's happening here is when they log in, if they haven't purchased anything yet, the first time they log in, what they're going to see is this message up here, hi, and their name, all of your products and downloads. So they'll see our message there. And then they're going to see this product 1, best widget ever, and then they're going to see check it out here if they haven't bought it. If they did buy it, they're going to see all of this, and then they're going to say download here. So it's as simple as that. What you're going to do is for each product, you're just going to repeat this process. And you could actually just copy this whole thing to the next, just do a copy and make a new block and copy it down here. And all you got to do is change the name of this link and the URL to the sales page here, and of course the description. So it's easy to get this thing populated. Okay, so we can update this now. And this is ready to go. So we have our sales page and we have our back end all done. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is go to the sales page and make a change there. So let's go to all pages and then the sales page. Now we can't let anybody buy this unless they actually are signed up to our site. Otherwise, it won't register them as having bought it, and they won't be able to get in to actually download it. So what we need to do is tell them, using the same type of codes that we just had there, that they need to log in or register if they're not, or if they are, this button's going to show up. Okay, so that's easy to do. Remember we had this here, if current user is level 0 or can access level 0. And actually, if you're the admin, you might want to use the can access one, or you're not going to be able to see it because you're not level 0. But that's okay. Let's put this in. So this is going to show the button if they are level 0. And we need to move this S2 if underneath this whole thing here. Okay. So this will now show them the button if they're level 0, which means that they've signed in. Now, if current user is not level 0, then we need to give them the link to go and sign in or register. Okay, actually I'm going to change this to can access level 0 instead. And then you'll be able to see it as an admin since you can access level 0. It's just a better one to use. And I've updated what you're going to get so that it is using this code rather than the old one. So you can ignore what I said about is equals 0, and we're going to use can access. And then we're just going to take this same thing here and we're going to bring it down here, and we're going to say cannot. And then we're going to put a note in here to, I need to put this S2 if down below this one. So these are called conditionals. If they meet the condition, then they do what it says in between there. Okay, and then we want to say login or register. And then we want to give them the link to the login or register page. And then we hit the link here. And then we put in the link to the registration. And you can get that in the open registration place where we set open registration. I've also given you the link to this in here. So this is where it's going to say register. Okay, and we add link. Okay, so what we've done here, we have our sales page, and then we have our payment button, which will show to anybody that can access level 0. And if they can access level 0, then they're going to get a login and register link here. So let's update. Now let's view the page for ourselves, and we should be able to see the link. And there it is. Now let's log out. Okay, so let's bring this page up. And you'll see now that it's brought me the login and register page instead of the payment button. So normally you'll have a big sales letter here, and at the bottom, if they haven't logged in yet, they're going to have to click here. And it takes them to the register page. And you'll see that down at the bottom there's log in, so they can click here and they can just log in if they already have a membership. Now if you decide you'd rather just go to the login page, you can do that instead. And let's just go back in this link here. And all you're going to do is take action equals register off the end and the question mark there, like that. And then it'll just go to the login page. So let's update that. And then we'll log out and go to this page. Okay, so let's click on this now. And now it goes to the login page, and then they can click register. They want to register. So either way you want to do it is fine. In the next video, we're going to do a run through. Before we go through the walkthrough, I just want to go through one thing with you. Let's go to pages and all pages. And then to our download area. And I just want to talk about the download link that we put in here. You see it says download here. Let me just bring this up because there is a problem with it when you use the WordPress built-in download link thing here. And what the problem is that it puts this HTTP in front of it like it would for any other link. But what that ends up doing is putting two of them on here. And this only in this case because we're using the built-in S2 file download, which already includes this HTTP. So we're getting a double. So when you use an insert link, in this case only, get rid of this thing off the front or it doesn't work. So let's update that. And then let's update. And now let's go have a look at what our download page would look like at this point. Okay, so it says hi, my name there, and then all our product downloads. And because we are able to access the custom capability because we're admin, we see the download link. Now, if I had left it like it was, it wouldn't work, but we click on this and we do get the download. And you'll notice down at the bottom of the page on the left, you see the URL and then you see file download key equals and a huge long sequence of letters and numbers. That is generated by the system for your particular browser, IP address, username, and some other things. So if somebody grabs this, does a copy link, and sends it somewhere else to somebody, it just won't work. So that's how the protection works there. Okay, so at this point we're ready to start with the run through. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to log out here. And then we're going to go to our sales page that we have on here. And then you'd see this. Now, you might want to change this login register that we have on here to something a little more meaningful. Let's say something like, to purchase, please log in or register for free, or something like that. There's something a little more detailed here. Okay, so let's click on this. And then I'm going to need to register. Okay, and then I'm going to create username, email, my first name, my last name, and then I can register. Now the problem is that because it's using the default WordPress registration, it's not letting us pick the password as a new user. So what it does is it emails us a password, then we have to come back in here and log in after that. But what we want to do is change this so that they can put their own password in, click register, and then continue without waiting for the email. So I'm going to show you how to do this part now. So what we want to do is go to plugins and add new. And then up here in search, we're going to type in CIMY, C-I-M-Y. And then we want the CIMY user extra field. So we'll install now and activate. So what we do now is go down to settings, then we go down to CIMY user extra fields. Okay, and then you can just roll down, way down, until it says WordPress hidden fields. Okay, and then you want to do is click show password, show confirmation password, and then I've already checked these before. That's why they're here. Otherwise, they're unchecked. You have show password strength meter if you want, and then those are the only ones we need. So let's save this. Okay, now let's log out and we'll continue with our registration. So register. And now you see we have a password and a password confirmation, and then it gives us password hint here. So let's go ahead and register. Okay, so put everything in here, then your first name. Click register. And we're all ready to log in. So this really streamlines the process. Okay, now because we just logged into our account, it brings us right to the download area, and you'll see that it doesn't have us as having access to it, and so we know this is working. It says check it out here. So once they log in, they can go right to the sales page by clicking there, and here they are. So what they're going to want to do now is pay, and you're going to be using a PayPal Sandbox account for this part. Okay, so I went and got one of my accounts in my PayPal Sandbox and put in the password. And we'll log in. Okay, so we can just go pay now. So it'll redirect us. Okay, and then there we are. There's our download page. So we can click here now. And there it is. Okay, so that's the process. Now, let's go and have a look at what happened in the back end. So I'm going to log back in as admin. Now, let's go to users and all users. And I'll just show you what the custom capabilities thing did. So here we are, Camper John. So let's look at him. And we'll roll down here. And you'll see here under custom capabilities, you'll see best widget ever. Okay, and then any time he buys something, it'll put a comma after this one and append the next one. So all the products he buys will be shown here as custom capabilities. Okay, so that's how the whole thing works. Now, just one more thing I want to show you here. What we're going to do is go back and just make a change to the page just to show you how to quickly put another one in. So let's edit. So the easiest thing to do when you set up a new product as far as creating this page is concerned is to copy the old one. So let's copy this whole thing and do Control C, or you can right click and use copy and then down one. And you say product 2. And then we can call this best widget ever. Okay, and then we would make a button that is the one for, and we would call it best ever for the custom capability. See, we have best widget ever, so we could say ever. And when we create the button, we need to use this same thing here under the custom capabilities. And then we would change this sales page here. Okay, so I changed the custom capabilities that we're going to use on these two lines. Best widget ever. And when we create the button, we need to use the same custom capabilities. So I'm just going to copy that. Oh, we'll do that in a sec. And then download here, we need to edit this. And then we would just change this to whatever the name of the file is. There. I didn't upload anything, so I'll just leave it the same. And then you would just change this to the new sales page that you created. And it's as simple as that to get it done. And then, of course, you go and create the button for that page and the page itself. So let's update this. Now let's log back in as camper again. Okay, and here it is. So download here, and then the second product, check it out here. So this is how it works as you add your products in here. Once they log in, if they haven't bought something, they'll say, oh, I wonder what this is. They check it out here, which points to your sales page. In my case, it's pointing to the same page as this one would be, but that's because I didn't create one. But otherwise, it would point to the new sales page with a buy button on it for them, and they can go from there. So that's how you can set up a customer product portal.